Salad have created and commissioned these videos not to promote our business. We're receiving thousands of applicants on a daily basis, but to allow the voice of the consumer to be heard. I think it's really important that that is heard by all sorts of people associated with the lending industry.
Well, I studied international finance, international banking and finance. I've been involved in youth work since around 2010, so I work with the local community, getting them off the streets, creating opportunities for them for employment. So I've worked with some local to get them jobs, apprenticeships and so forth. I was applying to different lenders, and I came across Salad. It was the best out of those that I was looking at, and offering a very good rate, which I thought also was affordable in terms of repayments for the loan. If I was going to use some other lenders, this was going to come up quite expensive, and we are talking of an additional £50-60 a month. It would have added to a lot of money and put pressure on me as a person as well. One of the main advantages which I found is affordable rates for people. If you've got bad credit rating, Salad was very on the top in terms of the rates, was more affordable.
So CDFIs don't penalise borrowers who've missed payments for missed payments by adding in extra charges or interest. Typically, most of us will reschedule a loan and just add that payment onto the end at no extra cost.
Well, what I think with the other companies put charges, I don't think it's a good idea, more if they don't tell you, because everything should be clear since the first moment when you open the website. That, for me, is those are the secret charges that you don't know until you start receiving those charges on your bank account and you don't know about it.
Under the Consumer Duty, which came in last year, I refer to that quite a lot, there is a new code of practice that all lenders have to adhere to, and it's about putting the customer at the focus and centre of all decisions to make sure that everything you do is in the customer's best interest. So I'd like to think that all lenders will be dealing with their consumers and borrowers in a really responsible way and looking at what measures of forbearance, payment holidays and other assistance can be bought and in to help those individuals.
I work as an assistant IT manager for a multi-academy trust based in Sheffield. I was looking at a loan to just finance a fault on my car, and at the time I'd had quite an expensive bill on my car. It was the cam belt that had stopped working, so to speak, and had pretty much ruined all the engine. So it was quite an expensive bit of work that needed to be done by the garage, and they quoted quite a high amount of money. I'd been declined for one for a major bank, I think it was HSBC. The problem was that obviously there was the information that they initially was asking wasn't really indicative of what my situation was actually like, and I think there was just a few questions that were asked. Basically after that point it was declined, and there wasn't really any kind of further look into what my actual situation was like. I had heard that there was better alternatives out there for lending. When I was just doing that search, Salad Money came up. I think being a community lender did just have it a little bit more of a wholesome feel. There is a lot out there when it comes to finance companies that are profit driven, and you do feel like you're getting ripped off, but I didn't kind of get that feeling from Salad Money. Food costs have increased ridiculously, electricity and gas bills have increased ridiculously, so budgets are a lot more stretched, which is difficult on a day-to-day basis. And my wages, which are, I get a decent enough wage, but it's still stretched to the limit, especially with the children. When you've got Christmas and things like that coming up, you're really having to stretch your budgets out a little bit more than you would have done probably going back 5 years ago. Having that ability to have that credit when you do have something that goes wrong, like the car, especially when it's an expensive bill, I do find that it is good to be able to just go to somebody who you can trust, who will look at your situation a little bit better. And equally, I've not had to do this, but it does feel like they're quite easy to contact if you are having difficulty to pay, because I have seen plenty of emails come my way that say, if you've got any issues paying this amount, please contact us. which is nice and welcoming sometimes because you don't get that from other lenders.
There should be a way in which perhaps maybe give small loans and increase them gradually, allow people to prove that they can repay and regain their confidence and give them their freedom back. I like when financial institutions, they are responsible, but at the same they're offering opportunities for people to have the financial freedom to do the things that they like.
Having seen these films about our borrowers and hearing some commentary from me, I'd really like people who are making informed decisions about credit to really understand who the consumers are and what their story is and how they borrow. The next point I'd like to make is we are all users of a credit system at some point during our lives, and I would like to see the stigma attached to borrowing removed and the stigma attached to debt removed, and I think that can only happen by more of these stories being brought to life.